been waiting for? I'm actually a mimic of George Rose. I saw some of his sculptures and I made my own. I had originally made this just for myself, but the city of Roanoke wanted me to display it, so they asked me to finish it and take it to their art festival. I had to chainsaw the wall out of my building to get it out. And it was originally 14 feet tall. I shaved it down to 8 feet tall. What's unique about the ball machine is that it's variable in speed. Right now it's sitting in VMI's library, and the librarian has asked that we keep it kind of quiet and calm. I can, if you back up with your camera, I'll speed it up and show you what it's able to do. Yeah. I had a lady write an article about it, and she said it was variable in speed. And I thought, well, that would be a good idea. She made a mistake, but then I thought, well, that's a good idea, so I added a speed control on it. And it enables it to have two different characters. You can have it slow and quiet and tranquil and follow the activity, or you can have it utterly chaotic. And someplace in between. Alright. You can give me a good advantage of that golf ball. Ball goes down the red. Get this thing in here, John. Well, at VMI, there is no shortage of brute labor. So we got a bunch of weightlifters and took the handles off the door, laid the ball machine on its side, had to take half the stuff off of it, laid it on its side, wheeled it through the door. As you notice, there's gray paint on their doorway. We kind of had a tight fit. We just got in here, and the 12 men lifted it back up again, and we put it back together, and here it sits. So, what are the dimensions at all? The ball machine is about 5.5 by 6.5 by about 8.5 tall. And how long did it take you to put this one together? This was about 1.5 years of building, and then another about a half a year of making it work. What happens if you have a place where a ball escapes, then after a few minutes all have escaped there, or if you have a jam up, wherever it jams up, then they all jam up. So I had a lot of trouble with the troubleshooting part of it. Gene, ultimately I'd like to scale up to the size of the building and use just bowling balls. That would be lethal though if you ever had a screw up. The next one is billiard balls, but it's cleverer stuff. Basically this one is kind of primitive. Compared to this and the new one is neat, and this one makes it look like I let the kids build it. So. dumps the 3 balls in the 3 pendulums. Basically, if you put a ball in, it starts this pendulum to spinning, and I got 3 of them. And what it looks neat after a while when they start like just kind of evening out, because they get doing real different stuff.
Out of the final edit.
Okay, here's a loop-to-loop. Here's a neat thing. This thing just never flips. Watch this. There it goes. Check out the pendulum, it's still going. I'm going to put that up here, mount this on this stand, and then I have this transmission. This transmission goes on here. So I have a giant wheel turning the transmission. It's a 400 to 1. So 400 turns of the wheel makes 1 turn of this scoop. This scoop, can you get that scoop? That scoop will then go around. After that wheel's made 400, this makes 1. It's going to pick up this stainless steel ball, which is very, very heavy. Slowly deliver that up to a little track, and it goes along, and it lands in this pendulum. This is a triple pendulum, and it sets this pendulum to motion. Now watch that pendulum spin. See that? See how the middle one's now doing 360s? It's just by changing this ball. See this little ball? If I spin that ball out and tighten it and spin this thing, it'll spin completely different then. So I'm getting some real different looking stuff.
You put a little more energy into it than the ball falling.
More energy. I got a great big ball. I'm going to make a bigger basket and put a great big steel ball in it so it gives it a good weight. The other thing, I got bronze bushings in this one because it's a prototype, but I'll put ball bearings or needle bearings in a good one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have a chain from that wheel down to this lawnmower engine. This is our transmission. And so that wheel will be turning this gear to a gearbox, which is turning this auger, and it's going to raise balls. And so some of the balls that come off of that wheel I'm going to put into this auger system. Some of them I'm going to put back into it, and some of them I'm going to put them over to the trampoline. 2 balls going in that tomato paste can, and then that'll lower this thing, which makes a rotary motion there, but then I have that kind of filled into this little slot, and that turns this to a back and forth motion, and then I'll have a thing for that pit. This is a piece of an old fire extinguisher. It's got a good tone. So I could have that thing sitting here and 2 balls. And put a pivot on it, put 2 balls in it, 2 balls, once it gets 2, it dumps them out because of the weight.
Right.
They'll go into here, and that's an old bicycle sprocket. Go down, they dump out. And that bicycle sprocket sends that big old wheel to spinning.
Oh.
Try it. Need to get it sloped so they go fast.
Fine tuning.
And it'll collect balls. First ball, second ball, and I'll have these parallel tracks for them to fall into. And it collects until it has 3 balls. When it has 3, it dumps them all together. And they'll go down.
Oxygen tank?
Yeah, this was my grandmother's oxygen tank. She really went downhill when we took this, but listen how it sounds. Hit that with a ball. And I cut the bottom off of it, and here's the bottom. Here's a chime, just a piece of chilled aluminum.
Oh, that's really nice there.
fire extinguisher.
Just keeps coming out of the woodwork with this.
Got a whole building full of junk.
What was that? Oh, building full of more here. If you can start getting some cowbells and stuff going on,
Yeah, so we can have the noise maker, we can have the balls
give you an idea of it,
flying, and,
the audio side of this.
yeah. Gonna have a great big wheel. That's the other thing we don't have up. Shop of the ball machine I'm building. I'm gonna call it On a Roll. And then the original ball machine is in at VMI in the Student Center, Lejeune Hall. So I thought we could run in there and see the original one, then you can see kind of how I put one together. On the first one, I didn't really have a plan on the pathway. I just put it together and just it evolved. On this one, I did have a definite plan. I know exactly how things are going to go and even the timing of who gets how many balls and when.